Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Signature of Art, the place where you can add value to your life. I'm Sneha Pranav. Today I come up with a wonderful topic. That is a topic, it's a book. We are going to talk about the book called Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. It says more about the humanitarian humankind and it offers a sweeping examinations for the of the mainly history of our species, from the emergence of Homo sapiens in the Stone Age to the complexities of the modern world through a blend of history, anthropology, philosophy. Here in this book, Harari explores pivotal events that has shaped human societies such as a cognitive revolution, agricultural revolution, and scientific revolution. In the book, this particular book changes any readers to reconsider long held belief about what is meant to be human, the structures of societies, and the future we are crafting ourselves with its accessible narrative and thought provoking insights. Sapiens have captivated global audience, prompting discussions about humanity's past, present, and future potentials. Everything we are going to talk today about it. So before I want to take you about the say overview of a sapiens, I want to give little brief about what is in sapiens. What we can see, a brief history of humankind. We can see about sapiens. It's a brief history of a humankind. Yuval Noah Harari takes a reader on a on a tour of and it's a wonderful tour of a species journey from foraging bands of hunter gatherers to the globalized technologically advanced society we find ourselves in today. This thought provoking books delves into the key revolutions that shapes humankind and pondering the implications of our past on the future with a mix of history, philosophy, humor. Here, Harari makes a complex ideas accessible and thought provoking. Before we see about that, before we quickly jump, before we see more about the book Sapiens, we quickly jump into the topic about the author. Here, Harari is a historian and a professor at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem with PhD and history. He is not just an old historian. He is a bit of rock star in the intellectual world. His expertise spans everything from medieval history to the future of humanity, making him a one-step shop for all things thought-provoking. Added to it with his knack of storytelling and engaging prose, Harari has captivated millions, billions, trillions of people, providing and proving that history can be just as entertaining as a binge worthy series on Netflix, maybe some of your favorite Netflix, minus the cliffhangers. So let's quickly jump into the book. Sapiens is divided into four main parts that explores a key development that has shaped our species: the cognitive revolution, the agricultural revolution, the unification of humankind, and the scientific revolution. Each section tackles the major themes of human evolution, sorry, it's human evolutions, societal organization, and the complex interplay between culture, economy, and environment. Harari, with a unique perspective, invites readers to reflect not just on where we come from, but also on where we might be headed. So I also want to warn you with small little thing like reflecting might lead to some existential musings over your next cup of a coffee. So let us see what is cognitive revolution. In this particular section where Homo sapiens went from being just another animal on the planet to becoming the star of show with a flair of storytelling and social networking long before the advent of social media. So this emerged rise of Homo sapiens was a game changer in animal kingdom about 20,000, or we can say like 22 lakhs years ago, we began to stand out with our remarkable brains and ability to think abstractly, while other hominids were stuck in the stone age of thought. Our ancestors were busy swapping ideas, forming communities, and one could say developing the ultimate survival app, like, something like called social cooperations. So, in the development of language and imaginations, language was the ultimate brain's upgrade. It allows our ancestors to communicate complex ideas, share stories, and even gossips about that one cave neighbor who used too much of rock in their fire pit. Imaginations also took a front row seat, leading to art, spirituality, and the foundations of culture that would later be the envy of all other species. Spoilers alert, I could say, like a spoiler alert, it turns our belief in mythical creatures and grand narrative was a pretty handy survival mechanism. So when it comes to impact of social structures with this newfound cognitive prawns, human societies transform from small, tight, night it's something like a tight knit groups in more complex social structures as we begin or as we began to forge relationship based on the shared myths and collective belief. The foundation was laid for everything from tribes to nation. Suddenly human weren't just surviving, they were thriving, creating hierarchies, rules, and even the first form of government which hopefully came with the suggestion box. So I also want to tell you the second topic, which is the agricultural revolution. When it comes to agricultural revolution, fasten your seat belts, folks. We are entering the agricultural revolutions where human traders, their hunter gathers lifestyles for applause and crops, changing the course of history in the process. So the transition from foraging to farming is about 12,000 years ago. We hit the jackpot, we can say, or we can say it's a lottery or a jackpot, or that is agriculture. This transition from foraging to farming was marked by the domestication of plants or animals, allowing humans to settle down, hoard food, and surprise from larger communities. While this new style seemed fantastic, wonderful, it wasn't all sunshines and rainbows. It also meant more back-breaking work and the inventions of the moderate. So, consequences of social and culture. When we talk about it, the shift to agriculture came with its own set of challenges and changes. The societies grew, um, so I want to quote here, like, so yes, the society grows. So did social hierarchies, properties ownership, and the competitions for resources with more people living together. We also had the delightful experience of navigating conflicts, debates over the land, and the occasional neighborly feud, because what's more fun than arguing over who gets the last piece of bread, isn't it? So having said that, population growth and urbanization involved. So with the reliable food sources came population explosions, leading to the rise of cities and the civilizations. Urbanization brought together diverse groups, fostering innovations, but also leading to overcrowding and the spread of diseases. New city living had its downsides. This set of and they set the stage for trade, culture, and those delightful historical moments we now study in textbook. So, the next thing I want to quote here is the unification of humankind. Now that we have settled down, it is time to examine how humankind began to unite, creating a web of interactions that would, in many ways, redefine who we are. Formation of complex societies that also impacted, that also created as cultural continue to evolve. Complex societies emerged complete with governments laws and of course a whole lot of bureaucracy and the development of various society structures allowed for specialization of labor. People could actually focus on things other than farming, such as pottery, making pots, philosophy, and even becoming professional cat headers. Okay, not really, but you get the point, isn't it? So, having said that, I also want to tell you, like, spread of religious and religions and ideologies. The unification process saw the rise of religions and ideologies, new ideas, the way and the customs, cultures that brought people together through shared beliefs and narratives, whether it was worshipping the sun or adhering to complex philosophical ideas. These belief systems help societies create a sense of belongings and purpose. Plus, they often provide a handy guide for what to do when life got messy. Yes, we are looking at you. Do unto others rules, something like do unto others your rules. So this is what the spread of religions and ideologies has created. So the next topic which I want to talk here is about the trade and economic interdependences. When it comes to trade and economical interdependences with more complex societies came trade, and as soon as people were swapping everything from spices to silk, the blossoming of economical interdependence not only spread goods, but also some ideas also interchanged, technologies raised, and the cultural practices increased. It wasn't just about getting that much hard time from our neighboring tribe. It was a game changer for spreading knowledge and creating connections that would shape our world for centuries to come. Who knew bartering could lead to such global things, right? So I also want to quote here like a scientific revolution. So the key developments and discoveries are happened during scientific revolution. Scientific revolution kicked off in the 16th century, heralding a time when humans decided to take a closer look at the universe and say, hey, maybe we should base stuff on evidence rather than just what some guys in a robe said. Key development included um, heliocentric universe, something like Copernicus or heliocentric universe, Galileo's telescopic adventures, and Newton's law of motion. Basically, the OG science experiment that got us from the Earth is flat. To we can send a rover to Mars. So impact of on wonderful on world views and belief. When I want to quote you about that, as enlightenment spreads like a good vitamin, a worldwide view shifted drastically and without dramatically, I could say, people began to see themselves not as just tiny cogs in a divine plan, but as a rational being capable of understanding and reshaping the world around them. This shift led to decline in the power of church and the rise of secular ideas, paving the way from modern philosophy. Excuse me. Modern philosophy and our day-to-day understanding of reality. few who knew telescope could turn a few heads and believe upside down, isn't it? So I also want to talk to you regarding that technological advancement and their effects. With the scientific revolution came into era of technological advancement that changed game from the printing press, because who doesn't like free pamphlets, like so to steam engine, like hello industrialization. These innovations not only made life easier but also kick-started economical economies and societies in a way previous generations could only dream of it. The ripple effect were felt globally, turning sleepy villagers' life into bustling industry cities where everyone was suddenly way too busy to say hello, hi. So I want to talk to you more about the role of capitalism and globalization here. It is the main topic that he says here. Harari says here the origin of capitalist thought. Capitalism began to take root like the world's most ambitious weed in the late Middle Ages, fueled by trade and the growing ideas that making money was a good thing. So, unlike that one neighbor who tries to sell you the homemade soaps without a business license, thinkers like Adam Smith laid the groundwork, asserting that individuals pursuing their own interest could lead to social benefits. I also want to quote some of the things for you, like global trading network. What is that global trade network? As the market grew, so did the interconnectedness of nations. Global trade networking emerged, linking continents and the economies, like some kind of economical team does, swiping left on on isolationism, and right on the resolution of sharing, like spices, cotton, and even people cue that our kind historical movement began to move freely across the ocean, reshaping cultures and creating a world that was more independent than ever. Just remember, if you can buy it from across the globe, someone probably shipped it halfway around the planet first. So I want to talk to you about effects on cultural environment. When it comes to effects on cultural environment, while capitalism and the globalizations were busy shaking hands and making deals where they weren't without consequences culturally, they led to a mixing pot of ideas and practices, sometimes enhancing or I can say like enhancement of societies, but often leading to the homogenization of cultures environmentally. Well, I want to say like let's just say Mother Nature is not always on the board with our progress, as deforestation, pollution started turning on the earth into the dramatic remark of 90s disaster movie. So I want to talk more about the future of humankind. When it comes to future of humankind, the first topic I want to discuss here is technological innovations. When it comes to technological innovations, looking ahead, technological innovations are promising to take us to heights that even it is fully not even haven't fully imagined. With advancement in AI, which is artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and space explorations, we are venturing into an era where practically anything seems possible, like downloading knowledge into our brains, or vacationing on Mars. But with great power comes great, you know the rest, and it's definitely a mixed bag. I also want to talk to you regarding ethical considerations for the future, as we change or as we charge full speed into this technical or technology driven or tech driven future. Ethical considerations are going to be the hot topics at our dinner parties everywhere. Issues of privacy, surveillance, and AI rights are just the tip of the iceberg. Are we ready to give robots the same rights as the pet dogs? So that are the questions which will be rising in future as a table topic when we are just having the chit chatting moments, just like that. So should we be able to genetically modify our kids? Let's just say that some ethically some dilemmas might need a little more than cheese or wine to sort out. So I want to talk to you about other main topic is potential scenarios of human evolutions. It is like envisioning the future of human evolutions is like trying to predict the plot twist into your favorite TV show. Anything can happen with will be merged with machines or becoming superhumans, or will we go down a more dystopian path where society fractures under the weight of inequality? One thing for sure, the next few decades are likely to be a wild ride, and humans will have to navigate these waters with a keen sense of adaptability and a humor. So I want to talk to you something more about this book is like a frequently asked question. Some may ask me, Sneha, what is the main premise of *Sapiens*, a book history of humankind? Yeah, my answer will be like the main premise of book is to explore the history of Homo sapiens, examining the key development and the resolution that have shaped human societies and the world we live in today. And the second question you may ask me, Sneha, what are the key revolutions discussed in this book? Yes, as we discussed many topic, it will be very much messy and clumsy for you to understand what is the exact key revolution or discussed in this book. The key revolution discussed including the cognitive revolution, which enabled complex languages and society structures, the agricultural revolutions with transformed lifestyle from foraging to farming, and the scientific revolution which fosters advancement in knowledge and technology. The next question you may ask me, Sneha, how has Sapiens been received by critics and readers? Mm, I have an answer for you. Sapiens has received widespread acclaim for its engaging narrative and interdisciplinary approach, though it has also faced critics for its bold generalization and interpretation of historical events. So, the final questions you may ask me is for certain questions. Sneha, what implications does Harari suggest for the future humankind? Yes, it's a good question, and I would like to answer it for you. So Harari suggests that understanding our past is crucial for navigating current global challenges, and he raises questions about the ethical considerations of technological advancement and the most thing is like future trajectory of our species, like a trajectory, like what we can do in a future in a advancement, something like a more of innovative thing. So that I want to quote you all. I think you like this session. I hope you enjoy this session. If anybody is not subscribed to my channel, I humbly request you all to please do go visit, like, subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell icon. Don't forget to hit the bell icon wherein you will get the updates then and there when I'm posting it. It's Signature of Heart, the place where you can add value to your life. I'm Sneha Pranav. Once again, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. This is Signature of Heart, the place where you can add value to your life. I'm Sneha Pranav. I hope you enjoyed this session. For future updates, please do like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Until next video, stay tuned and stay safe. Be safe. Bye bye.